Good evening, foundlings and groundlings and roundlings of the internet. It is myself, your most original angster. And there's another video that I made about recent family shit that is sad, and I'll post that. And this is about another sad thing. I'm sure that I've mentioned over the course of the past year or so that the house next to my apartment building is empty. And about a year ago, I started taking Scout back there to play fetch, and we were having a ball. And because I can't really I just start terraforming if I'm in a place. I cleared out all of the brush and started building a structure, which got fucking big. Like, I was so proud of it. Um, it wasn't waterproof, but it stayed fairly dry in the rain. It had all slate flagstone flooring, and it was getting like a new wing, practically. And I then started what I called my renegade garden, where I started planting a garden back there with seeds I will get from the dollar store or from like the fruit and vegetables I was eating. I had like a bunch of butternut squash going on. I had a bunch of cucumber plants that were really healthy, some carrots that were hanging in there. Some peas had just come up. There was more. Onions, I guess. I mean, the onion plant was ailing, but I was really proud of it. And I had built a little brick gate thing. And that was, I worked really hard for a really long time to create like a refuge. And that's something that I've done in a lot of places that I've lived, especially when the environment of the places that I lived was abusive. Was whenever there was like woods nearby, um, I would start I would spend more time out there and start building like little fairy huts or structures or like, yeah, shit like that. And I would sometimes like store a go bag out there. So that was just like, I was thinking of it as the people's temple almost. Like, I had these grand visions. I wanted to make it a community center. And I called people from the city. I spoke to people who like run the nonprofit the Muse, where I take classes, trying to figure out how to. I wanted to draft a proposal for the city to purchase it when it goes up to auction, which will be inexpensive. And I didn't even want the city to I wasn't expecting funding. I just wanted them to give me permission to make it into a community center and a community garden. And there were 3 units. One was downstairs, and that would be great for like the public stuff. Then there were 2 apartments upstairs, which would have been perfect for like battered women or families in crisis, or like people in a mental health crisis, or what. A lot of people could use that kind of thing. Anyway, like a week ago, maybe a little bit more, a couple guys from the city were there, and they said that somebody had complained about trash and debris. And I was like, "Where is the trash and debris? Please show me the trash and debris." And he gestured to the structure and said, "That." Um, and I sort of asked about like the native trees that were growing, because I had cleared up all of this brush, and there were 2 sugarberries and a Yaupon holly and a black cherry that were growing. I was like, "Are you going to get rid of those? Are you going to get rid of the plants?" Because he basically said we're going to get rid of the structure. And here's my beef with that. I don't own the property. Neither does the lady who complained. So in my opinion, we have equal ground as far as deciding what's going on in that property, in that I call it an art installation. She called it trash and debris. But apparently she was right. So there were some notices. The notices were also like about um, a grill which had been there since before I started, um, and like, God, it really was just yesterday, I think. Yeah, it was just yesterday that was taking Scout for her morning poop walk, and we went back there, and the structure was gone. And the guys were still there. And I know better than to get mad at these guys. They're doing their job. They can't control any of this. And the foreman or whatever actually apologized to me when I went back to take a picture, and he was like, "I'm sorry, it's just the city." It's like, yeah, it's the whole system. They make it impossible to do any good. And if you try to go through the proper channels, you get strangled by red tape. Fortunately, I am resilient. And honestly, I'm sort of feeling like, dude, I've just gotten like objective proof that my family really doesn't care about me or want me around. Um, so like losing the structure hurts. But I wasn't, I didn't have any illusions about it lasting. I knew that the house was eventually going to go up for auction, and it would be unlikely that I would have the means to convince the city to spend money when it doesn't have to. It just made me sad how, like, nobody, like, people would be some people were supportive when I would tell them that I wanted to do that, but, like, people who could have helped didn't. And that happens a lot. And it's not specific to me. I just see it a lot that people are so comfortable not helping. And that makes me sad, because if if the society at large was just a little bit more tolerant and willing to go out of their way to make somebody else's life a little easier, I think that would make all of our lives a lot better. But nobody's ever gonna listen to me. I did repot a lot of the plants. The cucumbers are all dead though already. They didn't like it. Butternut squashes are doing okay. The carrots, they might not make it. The beans look like one of the bean plants might make it. And I'm going to transplant what's still alive to my dad's garden, which I would love to spend time with my dad in the garden. That also means it's all under my mom's control, because and she doesn't really give us a chance to talk out of earshot. And it's not like we're conspiring against her. It's just I love my dad, and we used to have a really special relationship and a really special dynamic. Like, he did value me, and he did treat me like I was just as good as anybody else. And he would always remind me how proud of me he was, and how I'm doing this important work, and how, but when he, during the whole, you're not welcome on the trip thing, he reminded me that neither he nor my mom have told me they're proud of me. in a long time. Which is true. They did stop saying that. And I can't let that, oh God, it was just like, and of course when I was like, when you said this, or like, I was hurt by this thing that you said, he was like, oh, I knew you'd take it the wrong way. I just can't talk to him. Because he's got on the spectrum too, and we just had this very loving, affectionate, and steady, stable relationship that has disappeared completely with the dementia. And like he's made fun of me in front of my siblings, and they've laughed too, and like asked me if I thought I had a hand in like my mom chasing me down and beating me with a hairbrush when I was 18 months old. Like, oh yeah, no, yeah. What crime could a toddler commit to justify that? But that's how it is. And I didn't realize how much of their dynamic relies on me tolerating abuse and forgiving it and stuff. So anyway, the structure is gone. But I'm doing a lot of art. I'm going to be vending this Oddities and Curiosities thing on the 27th, and I'm really looking forward to that. Oh, shit. I did not set a timer. I've got some... Hold on. I want to show you. Okay, I think they're okay. I'm making little guys. Ooh, they're still hot. These little guys out of Sculpey. And I just got new polymer clay. Well, that went here, but he's still fine. We're still good. I love mediocre art, and these little guys, I'm gonna sell the ones that make sense to sell. Look at this little pup, little insect pup. I'm keeping that one. And then this guy is made of foam clay, so he's got a little bit of stress ball action going on. I call them, like, these are the infantry in my ongoing war against depression. So I'm gonna put the little insect pup. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. He's so cute. Look at him. Yes. Oh, he's perfect. I even like him better than this guy, which is good because I plan to sell this guy. You can stand over there. Oh. I like his little war paint. I did that today. So at least I have all of the different media that I use to make art, and I am making art relentlessly. And now that I'm not working on the structure anymore, I will be moving on to new projects. I have been working on the memoir at a slow but steady pace, which is good. And I'm sort of figuring out, I'm probably going to do two different ones. One about early life, background family up into boarding school, and then one about what I called the ravenous years, which is like starting with like my psychedelic awakening in college and going through my relationship with my ex and being a body painter and a lot of drug scapades, Fear and Loathing all over Connecticut, Fear and Loathing in Brattleboro, Fear and Loathing at Electric Daisy Carnival, Fear and Loathing at Chapel of Sacred Mirrors. Barely surviving my 20s. And that one is like, I guess there's more objective bullshit and less, like, more, we were doing bad things or being bad kids, you know. But there wasn't the sort of overtone of malice and control and manipulation and using my... There's an argument to be made that my mom has a psychiatric form of Munchausen's by proxy. I truly believe that. Because I've been on every medication under the sun, and it wasn't necessary. Anyway, yes. So we've got... Well, guys, is there anything else that I want to display for it? Oh, I'm gonna put a link to my Patreon here, which I neglect a lot, but it's really the only place that I post writing. So if you're interested in my writing, where there are chapters of my memoir up in the Patreon, there's a lot of poetry up there, and you don't need to pay anything to look at it, most of it. Although you can be a member for like $2. And if I get more members, then I will make more nice things for my members. Again, really neglected the Patreon. I don't like the whole, like, yeah, you give me money every month and you get to know me and what I'm doing. Because, whatever. I have been writing a song for my best friend who passed in 2022. And I wrote this like arpeggio when I was 18 that I really liked, but I didn't develop it, and I was sort of saving it for a song. And I'm making it a song about him. And I'm very happy with it. Yeah. Writing's going well. I'm signed up for like 1 billion different classes. And journal... Oh yeah, there's why not? I'm gonna include a link here to the Zoom channel for Journal Club, which is on Fridays from 2 to 6 Eastern Standard Time, and anybody can tune in. There's no fee or anything, and Journal Club is really fun. We don't always get a lot of people, but discussion is really open. We do a lot of prompts that people seem to really like. For instance, like there was one that was like, write about a beloved childhood toy, or write about an experience you had with the ocean, things like that. And it'd be great if there were more people. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, say no more. So I guess I'm just dawdling at this point, and it is late. I have stayed up very late making my little guys. Look at him. He's perfect. Oh, I love it. All right, so I guess I'll let you go, and I love you, everybody on the internet. It's really awesome. I've been getting some new subscribers, which is really cool, and I would love to interact with you guys. I would love to know what you like, what you would like to see more of. Not that it's really going to change anything, because I cannot... Like, I just do what I do, and people are going to like it or not. Like, I don't have the sort of algorithmic moving in the direction that I get responses from thing that a lot of influencer to shill people do. If you want the influencer to shill pipeline video is also up there. I don't know. Somebody actually reached out to me on Facebook and said that they liked my channel and wanted to know where they could read some of my writing, and that just, I'm getting a big head about it. So I want to make sure that anybody who wants to interact with my weird art or my weird writing or my weird self, I was gonna say the name of the YouTube channel. Patreon is Original Angster, just like this, and Instagram personal thing is Original Angster, and my business one is Wittershins Goods, And if you are interested in the witchcraft or to purchase some of my art, Witterson's Goods is the name of my Etsy shop. I will try to remember to include a link there too. This has been nice. People aren't very good at listening, I've noticed these days, and I do pride myself on being a good listener. But what that usually means is that the conversations I have with people get a little bit one sided because people, when they find a good listener, want to talk. And I have this. I mean, it's like it's been happening since I was a child with my parents, where they would just tell me things, a lot of things that are like, well, people tend to like let me know about their trauma and stuff within like a couple minutes of meeting me. Maybe it's because I'm just, you can sort of tell that there's something going on. My friend Jo described it a couple of ways. She said, "You're not a small person, you're a shrunk person," which is definitely true. And even without a lot of the physical therapy, just with the unlearning of shame and the recognition of my self worth, my back is straightening out, and my shoulder, I'm not like hunching anymore as much. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, again, I'm just rambling, so I will let you go. I love you, Internet.